Realism by Devin and Amanda. What is realism? Starting in the 1850s and ending in the early 1900s, realism was formed as a way to reject the dominant French literature and art called Romanticism. The movement was created as an attempt to make art and literature that resembled life. Unlike mythology or folklore writers, the realism writers would gain inspiration from the world around them and try to interpret them into a lifelike manner. In most realism stories, the plots were simple and secondary to the characters, meaning that the characters were lower or middle class and held the ability to control their own destinies.
Common themes throughout realism. Settings thoroughly familiar to the writer, plots about daily experiences, ordinary characters, authorial objectivity, responsibility, morality, lower to middle class.
History played a major part in realism, starting with the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution influenced realism writers to portray how social changes affected the average, everyday American citizens. Next, Abraham Lincoln's life and his assassination. His middle to lower class background led to inspire Americans to believe that they could control their own destinies. This helped to play a major part in the realism writing. Another large part of realism was the 1990 when Wyoming is the first state to give women the right to vote. The oppression of women was a common storyline for most writers, including Henry James, and with the help of realism literature, awareness for women's suffrage was spread.
Mark Twain. In Mark Twain's Adventure of Toy Sawyer, Twain is able to present his character in truthful light to the reader in a language that is both vivid and clear at the same time. Kate Chopin. In her book, The Awakening, she gained a knowing for her strong opinions on feminism. Through her books, she became a role model for women during the age of realism. Henry James. Henry was known for his objective views on the American society during the realism age. In his book, Daisy Miller, James would use his writing to show his liberal views for the benefit of women.